Have you seen The Lion King on Broadway or the Blue Man Group? Ever wondered where they got that perfect stage makeup? Well, a few other people have wondered that too and decided to turn the brand into an MLM. This isn't your average makeup MLM, but one with far more glitz, glamour, and naturally, drama. So, hello and welcome to Multi-Level Mondays, a weekly series all about pyramid schemes, Ponzi schemes, multi-level marketing, and other forms of business fraud. I'm the Illuminaughtii, and today we're going to be discussing LimeLife by Alcone. Alcone has worked with a ton of makeup brands, some of them more well-known like L'Oreal and Maybelline, while others I haven't heard of like Blink and Model in a Bottle. However, one of their makeup brands, LimeLife, is an MLM, and that's why we're here today. So let's get into it. LimeLife hasn't been around for very long, but Alcone has been. The ownership and family tree here is just a little confusing, so we'll start from the beginning and try to break it down. Simply put, Alcone was founded in 1952, and they sold stage makeup in New York City. Alvin Cohen, the founder, recognized the need for a specialty store that could serve New York City's thriving theatrical community. They began as a small store selling stage makeup for starlets and showgirls, and now they are well known for supplying film, television, and theater productions with professional makeup, both glamorous and gory. As I understand it, they're also well known within the special effects community, and they've done well covering that niche in the market. They're the go-to for Broadway especially. I've also seen Alcone and LimeLife referred to as being owned by the RCMA, or Research Council of Makeup Artists. From what I understand, the RCMA was founded by a renowned makeup artist, Vincent Jr. Kehoe, in 1962. According to Vincent's grandson, J.R. Kehoe, the RCMA formula for foundation is solely distributed through Alcone, so that's why you might hear some LimeLife distributors able to refer to RCMA formulas. RCMA is a formulation, it's used by Alcone, and LimeLife stems from Alcone, so hopefully that makes sense. Moving on, I can't really compare Alcone products to normal makeup as this is kind of more special effects, but given that they're the industry leaders and have truly established a name for themselves, I think it's fair to say that Alcone, generally speaking, is reasonably priced and of good quality. No scandals here anyway. Fast forward to 1982, and Millardi family purchased Alcone. It was purchased to complement their already existing theatrical hardware store, so the family was familiar with the theater business. Maria Stewart is the current CEO, and she's a member of the Millardi family. Her maiden name is Millardi, from what I can gather, and it got changed when she got married. Alcone's core customers, since it began and even now, are professional makeup artists working in the industry. It's not a daily makeup, and average Joe isn't shopping there. It's some professional quality stage and film makeup. There's absolutely nothing of drugstore quality, and as Stewart told one source, Academy Award-winning makeup artists like Dick Smith, who worked on The Exorcist, The Godfather, and The House on Haunted Hill, are family friends and longtime Alcone patrons. I think that in the beginning, it really was difficult to obtain these products, Stewart said. There's a lot of knowledge that goes behind selling these products. A lot of them require ovens and formulas, and you have to make sure you use all the safety precautions. For us, being a professionally based company, we are able to provide these products to students looking to find out how to use them, but also if they had questions, we had the answers for them. Before the internet, we were the encyclopedia of knowledge for the special effects world. They also worked with the Blue Man Group in the late 1980s, helping them find a blue makeup that was safe, long-lasting, and their signature shade. Stewart's older brother and sister helped them find the tone, and despite being such an industry leader, she described that they will, quote, never turn away someone who wants to be creative. If we have stuff we can donate, we donate it. We can only really get that with a family business because it's up to us to decide to what extent we can assist an artist, end quote. But this is a LimeLife MLM episode, not an Alcone episode, right? Well, here's the thing. When an MLM purchases or even becomes part of another company, they tend to piggyback off of that company's good reputation, or even steal their company history. For example, Amway owns the supplement company called Nutrilite. In their marketing, they talk about how Nutrilite has been around since 1934, giving it legitimacy and history. In actuality, the founders of Amway were Nutrilite distributors, and Nutrilite may have gone under if not for them buying it up because they were getting into quite a bit of trouble with the FDA. Now, that's all in my 2 episodes on Amway, but needless to say, many other times I have seen MLMs equate history with experience and a good reputation. Alcone, as we've established, have exactly that. So when they launched Alcone at Home, aka the MLM branch, they already had a great history and products to back them up. However, as we know, no matter how fantastic or terrible the products are in an MLM, the business model is flawed, and this, in my opinion, was one of their worst moves yet. According to Alcone's video called The History of LimeLife by Alcone, the MLM branch Alcone at Home was launched in 2013. They then were once called LimeLife, but then became LimeLife later on. Other sources say they were founded later on, but it seems that it might be due to all the name changes, and there's quite a bit of confusion around this MLM if you couldn't tell. One of my sources called Glossy reads, LimeLife by Alcone, the peer-to-peer sales company founded in 2015, has launched a monthly subscription box called Amazebox. According to the brand, it's a bid to bring its story closer to customers while also recruiting them as sales representatives. Each monthly Amazebox comes with 1 full-size product and at least 2 travel-size products and costs $38. The boxes are based on different themes, with June being Every Day Should Feel Like Summer Friday. The offering officially launched June 6th, with 10,000 units sold out in 12 hours, according to Michelle Gay, co-founder and co-CEO of LimeLife by Alcone. In January 2018, L'Occitane acquired a 60% stake in the company. At the time, it announced plans to grow the brand's international business, starting with added expansion to Europe and followed next by Asia. Currently, LimeLife has 30,000 global representatives, said Gay. It reportedly did $100 million in sales in 2018, though the brand declined to confirm this. And I'm not really sure I've seen an MLM get into subscription box services before, at least it certainly hasn't been a massive selling point, so I guess this is a new one for me. Anyway, apparently these subscription boxes not only have their products, but materials meant to encourage someone to become a seller too, like cards about sources, a quiz asking how happy you are in your job, and a suggestion on how to become a beauty guide, aka a distributor, and if you're unhappy. All in all, this plays into their predatory nature as an MLM, and how pushy they can be, which we'll discuss later on. In the meantime, I'm pretty disappointed that Alcone would make this move. Michelle Millardi Gay and Madison Millardi, an aunt and niece team, founded it seemingly to expand the brand, but I think if anything, this is just really a great way to damage the Alcone reputation. When speaking about LimeLife, they also used a ton of buzzwords about how they were founded in the first place, and in my opinion, don't really say anything all that meaningful. One article writes, the director also explains that the brand's expansion is directly linked to the desire of cultural change, so that women understand their strength and value, and also aimed at revolutionizing the direct sales market through making the most out of a more digitized and connected society. There's nothing revolutionary about this from what I can see thus far. With all this page and website, they've just talked about empowerment and running a business, but we've seen this before and with multiple other MLMs, and that never truly is the case. With an MLM, you do not own your own business, you have no say in how the business or products work or are handled, and the business model is designed to benefit those at the top only. I don't see how that's empowering in the slightest. In addition, beauty guides are required to pay $10 a month to have their own website with LimeLife, and they pay $75 a year to remain active, and this isn't including any starter kits or monthly goals they might have. With all that and their general operation in mind, let's move on to discuss the products. Alcone specializes in stage makeup, but what about LimeLife? Is their makeup just as incredible? And what about their skincare? Well, let's take a look. LimeLife isn't cheap. I'll start by saying that. Because there's the Alcone name attached, maybe you can justify it. On the other hand, Alcone is a specific stage makeup product, whereas LimeLife is supposed to be used for daily wear. Unless an average person wants to wear stage makeup for daily use, I don't see how they can reasonably charge $52 for a little 4-shade palette. Not to mention, only some of their shades are vegan, while others use carmine, a red dye using insects, which is decidedly not vegan. I'm not saying they have to be a vegan brand and that's their choice, but some sources will clearly call them a vegan and cruelty-free brand. But if you dig a little bit deeper, you'll see that many sources say they have vegan products, though they are not a vegan company. And look, I have nothing against a non-vegan company selling vegan products to be inclusive. But this does just make me a bit hesitant because I feel that this can be very easily manipulated by distributors. It opens the door for misinformation. This mindfulness healing blog claims that they are vegan, and they're one of the first sources that pops up when you type "is LimeLife vegan?" The blog doesn't clarify that this is only the case for some products, and I'm not confident that LimeLife is going to stop their distributors from spreading this kind of misrepresentation, but I digress. The blog continues by saying that their expensive products are because their eyeshadows are so pigmented that they can last a year, like they're concentrated. That still doesn't make me want to spend $14 on lip balm when other popular beeswax brands are cheaper for a 4-pack and each tube is the same size. Generally speaking though, their makeup does have decent reviews. Not amazing and revolutionary, but they're alright. On the website Makeup Alley, for instance, they have a 3.6 out of 5 stars, or lipstick tubes as they use those instead of stars. I think that's kind of cute, but that's beside the point. It's only out of 9 possible reviews though, and one of them says it's the best foundation they've ever used, while one says they hated it and the foundation didn't cover well and felt drying, and another said the coverage and wear was poor, while another said the ingredients are toxic and the botanical-based claim is misleading due to the dyes. I was able to find yet another review on YouTube to see what perhaps an unbiased opinion might say. A brutally honest review from Toasted Blonde said that the eyeshadows are extremely hit and miss, many of the products are overpriced and boring, and the foundation is difficult to match with online. She also claimed that distributors went crazy for the I Aspire eye serum, and that, though she follows many LimeLife sellers online, she's seen absolutely no results and says it's an absolute waste of $84. In all fairness, she also has a video about why she would buy from LimeLife and recommends the lipsticks and their concealers. Another thing that I found worth mentioning that seemed kind of scammy to me is how much they charge for foundation. It's $36 for a foundation. Now, you might be thinking, oh, but these are RCMA formulas and these are some of the best around in their professional quality. Well, then how come RCMA themselves only charge $30 for a 5-part palette, or $23 for an individual shade? Like seriously, it seems like if you want this foundation so badly and you really want that Alcone quality, you can just get it directly through RCMA's website for cheaper and better quality, it seems. Once again, like with Alcone, they're banking on an already existing company's good reputation to bring in the sales. When LimeLife feels like the most they did, at least for the foundation, was toss a little pyramid on top of the business model just to mix things up a little bit. One reviewer had this to say about their foundation: "Do I love it, like it, or hate it? I'm going to go with like it. I like the look when first applied, and I like that it's easy to carry around and touch up and super easy to travel with. However, it is not very long lasting. It fades at around 6 hours for me. I think I will keep playing with it. Will I repurchase? Not sure. If I do, I won't pay the marked up price. I would buy through RCMA directly. $10 is a big price difference. If the packaging was nicer, maybe. Hopefully this helps you decide if you want to give this product a go or not." As for their other products, on BBB they have an A+ rating and 5 stars, but only 3 customer reviews. There have been a few complaints, one for fraudulent charges on their credit card, another because they tried to cancel the subscription and it wasn't working, and yet another saying that even though they canceled, it's for a yearly subscription and the company didn't reimburse them. All of the complaints I saw were billing issues, to summarize, and so there's very few reviews of the products out there. Now, before we continue on to discuss the company culture, I just want to take a quick break to thank today's sponsors. We all know the pain, the absolute horror of dealing with endless fine print contracts from wireless providers. So many charges, so many mystery fees. So when I heard that Mint Mobile offers premium wireless service that starts at just $15, it kind of sounded, well, not legit. I mean, I thought, wait, there has to be some sort of catch, right? Well, it turns out there is no catch. They're kind of that awesome. Mint Mobile's secret sauce is that they sell online only and just cut out brick and mortar stores, so less overhead for them means more savings for you. And all of their plans come with unlimited talk, text, and high-speed data on the nation's largest 5G network. Plus, you can keep your old number and your old phone, so you don't have to get a new one if you switch. So if you want to get started with your new wireless plan for just $15 a month and get the plan shipped to your door for free, make sure you go to mintmobile.com/MLM. That's mintmobile.com/MLM. Cut your wireless bill to $15 a month at mintmobile.com/MLM. Eco-friendly products can get a bad rep for being more expensive but less effective, especially when it comes to cleaning products. Well, Blueland is fixing that stigma with its revolutionary refill cleaning system. Blueland believes that a cleaner planet starts at home. It's a simple idea. Buy the bottle once, refill it forever. No more plastic waste. Just fill Blueland's beautiful bottles with warm water, pop in a hand soap or spray cleaner tablet, and a couple minutes later, boom, you've got instant powerful cleaning products. And that's not to mention that they come in amazing scents like rose bergamot and lily mint. And Blueland's bottles start at just $10 when you buy their kit, and you can reuse them forever and ever and ever. And those refill tablets, they start at just $2. And right now, you can get 15% off your first order when you go to blueland.com/MLM. That's 15% off your first order from any of the Blueland product line at blueland.com/MLM. blueland.com/MLM. LimeLife's company culture is a 3.4 out of 5 possible stars, and many employee reviews are positive. This is within actual company roles like marketing and executive positions, not distributors. The company culture for them is different and, as some articles argue, even predatory. Some of their shady activity starts to present itself when it comes to their subscription boxes. Again, according to Glossy. LimeLife has faced accusations of predatory practices in the past. A quick Google search for LimeLife by Alcone yields multiple YouTube videos about people's poor experiences as sales representatives, and the brand was also featured in a 2018 podcast series called The Dream, which examined multi-level marketing, also known as direct sales companies' problematic business practices. LimeLife said the subscription box has a direct benefit for its existing sellers, which is they receive a monthly reoccurring percentage of each $38 box. And if the box is able to lighten the burden of recruiting for sellers, that's a potential benefit too. Often a brand only gets one chance to tell their full story, which is impossible to do, said Gay. And it's not always coming from the brand. Brands don't know if it's being presented. But if you have 6 to 8 months with a subscriber, you get that prolonged exposure. I'm not saying that a company history isn't important for someone to understand when employed by said company. You want to know who you're working for, absolutely. But to me, this suggests even further that LimeLife is banking on their Alcone background. If they have great products, that's one thing, but their business model is completely different to the original Alcone. Just because Alcone has a good reputation doesn't mean that their MLM branch is a worthwhile endeavor. But moving forward, the article continues. LimeLife is purposefully seeding its marketing materials in a box in bits and pieces so it does not appear spammy, according to Madison Mullarty, co-founder and co-CEO of LimeLife by Alcone. July's box theme will be opening your eyes up to endless opportunity. All of our subscribers are subscribing through beauty guides. Through the box, we want them to see what the beauty guide in their life does, which is work for a company geared towards empowerment, Mullarty said. Our big focus right now is getting our message across that we aren't an old-school direct sales brand. We want to market to people who have a fresh take and perspective of direct sales. Those who have left LimeLife, in fact, have cited the company culture as being the #1 reason. One professional makeup artist, Lena, claims that she began working for LimeLife because she had been using their RCMA formula foundations for years and she knew they were good quality. So the idea of retailing them appealed to her. It's easier to be a salesman for a product you genuinely enjoy and use frequently, right? Well, yes and no. Loving a product and believing in a product and selling it are two different things. As Lena explains, once you sign up, you're on your own, and they tell you you're a business owner and leave you to find your own clients, which sure, some people may be good at, but others simply don't thrive under that structure. Lena also said that during Facebook Live videos and within LimeLife's groups, she consistently heard motivational language over and over, things like clap for one another, while no one really mentioned how to find clients or actually run their businesses. The other point Lena made is that in order to better sell a product, you need to buy and test it. This, of course, got incredibly expensive over time. She spent $300 on a starter kit, was paying to host her potential website, and her starter kit consisted of more skincare than makeup. Lena explains that her vision was to host makeup classes as a professional makeup artist to sell product. But in order to buy eyeshadow palettes and lipsticks, it would have cost another couple $100s. Not to mention, Lena says that these eyeshadows, which, as we mentioned earlier, are supposedly concentrated with a ton of pigment, simply weren't good for teaching people how to do makeup. They're far too strong and just not blendable for easy for daily wear, making them even harder to sell to an average customer. Another issue that Lena mildly touched on is the toxic positivity, because apparently it's rife within MLMs. Of course, by toxic positivity, I don't mean encouragement, but this "you can do it" attitude that is not only straight up denial, but it shames those who don't succeed. A former MLMer named Sarah tells her story about being in an MLM on ABC and said that the messaging was always "you earn as hard as you work. If you aren't earning, you aren't working hard enough." In actuality, it isn't Sarah's selling that failed, but the business model itself. This excessively positive line of thinking can not only lead to shame and suppressed emotions, but isolation from feeling invalidated, as one source explains. For several decades, books and popular media have highlighted the potential value of positive thinking, and there is some evidence to show that it can improve mental health. For example, a 2018 study of college students suggests that high self-esteem may support positive thinking, reducing the risk of suicidal ideas and gestures. However, the data highlighting the benefits of positive thinking also show that factors such as social support and self-efficacy, which is a person's ability to cope, interact with positive thinking to improve well-being. Toxic positivity imposes positive thinking as the only solution to problems, demanding that a person avoid negative thinking or expressing negative emotions. The research around positive thinking generally focuses on the benefits of having an optimistic outlook when experiencing a problem. Toxic positivity, by contrast, demands positivity from people regardless of the challenges that they face, potentially silencing their emotions and deterring them from seeking social support. Personally, I would argue a lot of MLMs cross this line from positive to toxic positivity, especially if they're cutting people out of group chats, all because they claim to be struggling. Yet, even when LimeLife sellers have left the company, they've continued to face frustrating positivity, or in some cases, have even been bombarded and attacked by other LimeLife sellers. One ex-seller, her channel being called Erica with a K on YouTube, explained that she had LimeLife, or Limelight as she made the video before the name change. Sellers continually tell her that she must have been selling the products wrong when she left the company. They critiqued her for calling the $9.95 website fee a $9.98 monthly fee and bullied positive commenters on her video until they removed their positive comments. Erica also says that when she was trying to do research on the company before she even signed up, she struggled because of the misleading videos distributors make. For example, when she researched "don't sign up for Limelight," there would be an abundance of videos from sellers that would say "don't sign up unless you want to make money." This is an extremely common tactic among distributors to mislead those trying to find negative or even just unbiased reviews about an MLM. I know because, in my experience, whenever I've looked up these "why I leave Limelight" or "why I left Herbalife" or "don't join Young Living," these former distributors' perspectives to try and find them, a massive amount of the videos are from current distributors that try and drown it out. I'm not surprised LimeLife is doing the exact same thing. Feel free to do this for yourself though. Look up "don't join Herbalife" and a large part of the results are going to be from sellers with clickbait titles that are actually advertising in favor of the MLM itself. It's kind of fucked up. The thing is, I don't search for these videos often in the first place because I'd rather find news sources with this information as opposed to anecdotal accounts. Unfortunately, as this MLM is pretty new and relatively small, there isn't much information about it. However, I was able to find a recent video from the co-founder and co-CEO Michelle Gay herself. So let's see what the higher-ups and the company themselves say about LimeLife, shall we? Michelle starts off by saying she's had an incredible experience with LimeLife, as well as tens of thousands of other people. Well, she starts off by talking about her jacket and fall makeup for a minute, but that's unimportant. First and foremost, there's less than 10,000 people employed as distributors according to their 2021 income disclosure, so I'm not sure how the tens of thousands of positive experiences claim is, but we'll move on. Then, Michelle claims that she wants to instill 3 things in anyone who's watching her video. The first is that direct sales is the way of the future. And to counter that, it is absolutely not. Unless we have an extremely grim, bleak future ahead, it sure feels that way sometimes, then it is not. But seriously, direct sales are predatory, they often target vulnerable people, and the overwhelming majority of people in them, over 99% usually, will lose money. Significantly more people are likely to declare bankruptcy in their lifetime too, if they have joined an MLM. One AARP study states, Significantly more MLM participants have declared bankruptcy at some point in their lifetimes compared to non-participants, 18% versus 11%. Among the 118 MLM participants who declared bankruptcy, 24% declared before they were involved in direct sales, 72% declared following their involvement, and 4% declared bankruptcy during the time they worked as a direct seller. Roughly 1 in 13 Americans have participated in an MLM organization at some point during their lifetimes. Individuals enter into direct sales for many different reasons, but nearly all are hoping to earn supplemental income working part-time. Findings reveal that about 1/4 of participants make a profit, 25%, 1/4 of participants break even, 27%, and nearly half lose money, 47%. These findings bring into question a common element of many MLM companies' pitches that participants can make a significant income working only part-time. Just like any entrepreneur, new members must invest significant amounts of money, time, and energy to grow their independent direct sales business. But even with hard work and dedication, the income is not guaranteed. John Taylor of the Consumer Awareness Institute claims the number of people that lose money is more like 99.6%. I'm not sure if his study perhaps included other starter kit costs or product costs that AARP study maybe didn't account for, but even when you do make money with an MLM, it can be negligible for the amount of time you actually have to spend to sell that product. The point is, no matter what study or statistic you found, chances are, if they're legitimate, they won't be in favor of MLMs. So for Michelle Gay to call them the way of the future is grossly irresponsible. She also claims that they are rising to the top of the MLM industry and getting onto top 100 MLM lists and leading the charge in direct sales. It's also not true. Lavelle, Beachbody, Isagenix, Herbalife, Amway, Avon, Young Living, Shackley, hell, even some MLMs that I haven't even heard of, like Captain Tortu in the UK and Sunhope based in China, Indonesia, and Taiwan, make far more money than LimeLife. That's not a good thing by any means, and I'm not happy that there's this many successful MLMs out there, but many are making hundreds of millions, if not billions of dollars annually. LimeLife is still nowhere near those numbers, so Michelle is simply kidding herself and misleading distributors yet again. The third thing, according to Michelle, is how now is the time to start this, and now is the time to learn the ropes as they enter the fourth quarter for sales. Michelle's video was made in late August 2021 for reference. And I mean, sure, the fourth quarter is the busiest time for sales for most companies, but it's never a good time to join an MLM because you're most likely still not going to make a damn thing. Another hilarious part to this is that Michelle actually does pull up the company's income disclosure during this meeting and says, hey, look how much money you can make if you're a director. Our senior, lead, and star platinum directors are making tens of thousands a month. And these being the titles for the tippy top of that little pyramid. And sure, that's true. But she doesn't show those watching the other half of the income disclosure, which shows they only have 4-star and 4 lead directors in the entire fucking company. They have about 300 people at the bottom as beauty guides in training, and then 5,600 in the beauty guide rank, 800 in the lead beauty rank, 400 as start beauty guide, and from there it's about 100 or less in each rank. And that's still going to be 6 ranks away from the tippy top. Each rank is shrinking more and more because, of course, if you couldn't tell, it's kind of shaped like a familiar pyramidal form. Michelle showed how much her top people can earn and how it's not impossible to get there. And it's very misleading, shady, and her, you can do it attitude is absolutely based on pure delusion. That is my speculation. There's no way you could make those statements like the way she said it and be based in reality. Chances are, you may make around $100 a month, but you'll probably spend even more. So no, now is not the time to join this MLM, and it probably never will be. Even if you happen to like the products, I highly recommend that you find a better, more ethical brand to support. After all, you're not just buying a product, but when you buy from LimeLife, you're supporting a predatory business model. But with that being said, that's where I'm going to end today's episode of Multi-Level Mondays. I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope you learned something new. And if you did, make sure that you're liking, following, and subscribing so that you can stay up to date on all the latest episodes. I appreciate you spending some time with me here today, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!